What happened to shame? What happened to humiliation? What happened to embarrassment? What happened to standards? What happened to dignity? All of these questions, and none of them will ever be answered. Ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and I saw the Smurfs in theaters. I saw the brand new Smurfs movie in theaters, and I regret it very much. Now, I'm sure most of you are very well aware of this movie and its very strange marketing that it's had. The first trailer for this movie came out back in February, I think, and it was almost immediately ridiculed by the internet. I tried making a video on the first trailer for this movie. I think I recorded like several different takes and none of them worked at all. And then eventually I realized, wait a minute, I don't care about the Smurfs enough to be like super angry at this movie. A movie based on the Smurfs being corporate slop for babies is not exactly the most surprising thing ever given the franchise's track record with movies. I don't care about the Smurfs, I'll just put that out there. Really, I don't think anyone does. I mean, okay, maybe Paris does because like the Smurfs were created in Paris. But I don't think general audiences really care all that much about the Smurfs, especially in this day and age. I'm sure I might have watched like the 80s cartoon, like reruns of it when I was a kid, but I have like no nostalgia for it at all. I have zero memories of ever watching it. I don't even know if I actually watched it, to be honest. And then you had the first live-action movie from 2011, which I thought was a good movie when I was a kid, but, you know, then again, you think anything is good when you're a stupid, dumb kid who doesn't know any better. I can only imagine what it would be like to sit down and rewatch this movie and realize, damn, this thing really has aged like milk. I don't think nostalgia bias is gonna save this one, Chief. For better or worse, up until now, this was the only one of the Smurfs movies that I've seen. I never saw the second one. I'm pretty sure at one point I wanted to with my parents, but we never did for some reason. I'm sure I was begging them. I was being like, Mom, Dad, can we go and see Smurfs 2? And they were like, sure, sweetheart, we'll go and take you. And that ended up never happening. We never saw this movie. And to this day, I have never seen this movie. Ever. I think this is the one where like they go to Paris and there's like a hot goth Smurf in this movie. Hell if I know. Maybe it's for the better that I never watched this movie as a kid, to be honest. And then you had that animated movie from 2017 that I didn't watch. I mean, to be fair, I don't think anyone watched this movie. I've heard that this is the best movie of the franchise, or at least the only one that isn't complete garbage, and you know what? I don't doubt that. I'm sure that this is a solid 4 out of 10 movie, easily the magnum opus of the franchise. And finally, we reach the present day with Smurfs 2025. Marketing for this movie made it look absolutely abysmal. Everything between the trailers for the movie to the character posters that were released. I know people are gonna make the obvious Jax Films joke here, but like, can we take some time to analyze this character design? This character is supposed to be like a late teen, young adult, and he also looks like he's 45 at the same time. He has this like balding dad hair look to him, and he also looks like a young adult at the same time, and he is supposed to be a young adult. I don't know. Trash character design, 0 out of 10. And then the reviews for the movie came out, and it was very clear that this was going to be the biggest movie of 2025, without a doubt. I didn't want to go and see this in theaters, and then I decided, you know what, I might as well go and watch it. I'm gonna make a video on this. I was well aware of the humiliation and embarrassment that I would feel going into the theaters to see the Smurfs, but you know what? Last year, I did the exact same thing with an equally embarrassing movie, that being Harold and the Purple Crayon. I, honest to God, went to go see Harold and the Purple Crayon in theaters, just like that. I mean, to be fair though, the circumstances are a little bit different between the two. Harold and the Purple Crayon looked like it would be funny bad from the trailers, and that made me want to go and see it, expecting an absolute disaster piece of a movie. And lo and behold, the movie ended up being a funny bad disaster piece. And then meanwhile, Smurfs in comparison looked like absolute dog shit from the trailers. It didn't look funny bad or anything like that. It looked like a generic baby slop, and that's it. And the final movie is unsurprisingly generic baby slop. I don't care. There's enough similarities between the two movies. God, it feels really weird acknowledging Harold and the Purple Crayon now in this day and age. I think I've gone on before saying this, but I'm gonna say it again. I hate the fact that Zachary Levi had to become a MAGA right-wing weirdo, man. Bro had one of the only good DCEU movies, and what could have been the next big so bad it's good classic on his hands, and he decides to ruin both of them for no reason at all. This is why we can't have nice things, damn it. This is why we can't have nice things. Also, I didn't feel like waiting for a cam rip of the movie to be available. I didn't feel like sailing the 7 seas for the movie. I just wanted to watch it and get my review out on it as quickly as possible. And that's it. I watched the movie, and then I never speak of it ever again. What a great day for movies July 18th, 2025 was, huh? It was either corporate slop baby movie or depressing as hell indie movie that takes place during the pandemic, which nobody in their right mind would want to go and see. I should have just rewatched Superman, honestly. Y'all are better off just watching Superman instead of either of these movies. I don't care. I love movies that give me optimism and hope for the future in a time when I desperately need them. I know the most annoying person in the world is gonna get mad at me for saying that you should watch a superhero movie instead of an A24 movie, but like I'm sorry, this is a movie that takes place during the pandemic. Nobody would want to go and see this movie. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to watch a movie that reminds them of how depressing and miserable life was during the pandemic, especially given the fact that right now we're going through arguably even more depressing and miserable times. But even if things right now were perfectly happy and perfectly fine, nobody would go and see this movie. Because why the hell would anyone want to go and see a movie about the pandemic while it's still fresh in all of our minds? I will admit that many of my takes on A24 in the past are wrong, and okay, yeah, I deserve to get ridiculed for these takes, but like, you shouldn't defend this movie just because of that. It's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. You get nothing out of defending this movie, I promise you. I don't care about the execution of the final movie. I'm still gonna hate it just because of its concept alone. This is an extremely rare instance where it's okay to judge a book by its cover. So I went into the auditorium to watch the movie, and you can only imagine my surprise when I found out that this was a crowded theater. I was expecting this to be completely empty with maybe like a few people inside and that's it, but no, there were people in it. There were a good amount of people. I don't know if that makes this more or less humiliating, to be honest. I sat in the very top row of the auditorium as I usually do for movies, but for this specific movie, because it gave me this false idea that it would reduce the embarrassment, I ended up getting like one of the corner seats, the very last seat in the row, because I didn't feel like sitting in between people. I don't know why. Sitting next to me was this guy, probably around my age, who was wearing a Sabrina Carpenter shirt, which, I mean, okay, that's cool, I guess. I couldn't find the exact shirt online, but I ended up finding this instead, which I think is perfectly fitting. It has to be an insane coincidence, the existence of this shirt. I kind of kind of want to buy this shirt myself and wear it out in public just to see what people think of it, just for novelty purposes. This is like if Harry Potter Obama Sonic was a shirt. And then next to that guy were these like 3 elderly people. There was like a man and 2 women, and it's like one of the women was elderly and the man and the other woman were like, I don't know, like in their 50s, 60s, hell if I know. They didn't have kids at all. I don't know why I'm bringing up all of this. I just feel like bringing it up. After I got out of the movie, I was waiting outside for my mom to pick me up, and there was like this guy who was like probably around my age with these 2 girls, and the guy was walking up to me and he was like, yo, I with your fit or something like that. And I was wearing blue jeans and a green shirt, and I looked at him, I was like, okay, thanks, I guess. When the is mom coming, seriously? Trailer for Zootopia 2 played before the movie, and it's like every time I see this trailer I get reminded of like when the first movie came out in 2016, and I used to look at all of the people that were attracted to Judy Hopps and I thought, oh my god, that's so weird and cringe and disgusting, man. Thank god I'm not gonna end up like that, man. And look where we are now, nearly 10 years later. A lot can change between 2016 and 2025. In 2016, I was against the cringe. In 2025, I am the cringe. I couldn't care less about Frozen 2 or Moana 2 being mid, but if this movie is mid, we're gonna have a serious problem, okay? Do y'all hear me? I did not go through a nearly decade-long character arc discovering and eventually accepting who I am just to be rewarded with complete mediocrity, okay? Bro, we're getting Zootopia 2, and we're also getting Bad Guys 2. Man, we furries are eating good this year, seriously. Why am I saying all of this stuff in a review of Smurfs 2025? Well, I mean, it's a review of Smurfs 2025. I paid to go see this thing in theaters, you know. This is already humiliating enough as is. You might as well make it even more humiliating. So before the movie, there was this SpongeBob short that would play, and apparently this was a short that was made all the way back in 2015, and for some reason only now are they showing it in front of this movie 10 years later. But it's like a small SpongeBob short. It's silent. It involves SpongeBob and Squidward and this bell. SpongeBob keeps ringing this bell, and Squidward gets annoyed by it, and even after Squidward completely destroys the bell in every possible way he could, SpongeBob still bothers him with this bell. And I thought like, oh wow, that's actually pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. The ultimate Sigma move would be to go see Smurfs in theaters and then watch the SpongeBob short and then immediately leave the theaters after watching the SpongeBob short. That's it. You've watched the movie. It's over. So before I actually go over the plot of the movie itself, I will acknowledge the positives of this movie. Yes, I can't believe it. There are good things about this damn movie. The animation and art for the Smurfs, I think, don't look that bad. There are rare moments where I feel like it doesn't look very good, but for the most part, I think it looks fine. It does look pretty good. I will say, though, the inconsistencies with the art does kind of bother me, though. So one of the main things that people acknowledged in the original trailer for the movie was the fact that it seemed like the Smurfs were entering the real world yet again. This was a plot point that the original 2 live-action movies had, and it seemed like we were getting the exact same thing again. They were just reusing it, as if there were no other storyline ideas for these characters. And, well, that's not exactly the case. Most of the Smurfs go into the real world in order to find this one specific Smurf to help them out with their main mission. There's no, like, human main character or anything like that, like how the live action movies had Neil Patrick Harris. There's nothing like that. There's no main human character in live action, for better or worse. I gotta be honest, this does kind of make me question, why is the movie in live action partially to begin with? Why not just have this be a completely animated movie? The main villain of the movie is completely animated. His castle is in the real world. On the outside, it's in live action. On the inside, it's animated. And everyone else in this castle is animated. I don't understand what's up with that. Very strange inconsistency that has no reason to be there at all. The real world scenes being in live action adds nothing to the movie. They could have very easily had these scenes be animated and it wouldn't change anything at all. Besides that though, I think the art, like the animation itself is fine. It has a little bit of a stylized feel going for it, which, I mean, okay, sure. I want to highlight a specific scene near the end of the movie where, like, some of the Smurfs are going around different universes. Like, there's a universe where everything is stop motion. And I mean, like, you know, it's cool and it looks good, but I can't help but get reminded of those Elsagate videos from like 2017, which definitely drags it down quite a bit. They enter this like pencil hand-drawn universe, I don't know, children's drawing universe, and I think like, yeah, that's pretty cool as well. They enter this like 8-bit video game universe, which like, while watching this, the only thing I could think of was, my life is like a video game trying hard to beat the stage, you know, that stupid song. Oh my god, guys, so retro. And then finally, there is a honest to god like anime scene in this movie. There is an anime parody scene in the corporate slop Smurfs movie for babies. We got that before we got GTA 6. Jesus Christ, man. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of found this scene mildly entertaining just because of the different animation styles. It's obviously not enough to save the movie, but you know, it's still something worth bringing up. I will admit it, there are a few extremely rare moments in this movie where I laughed. There are very few funny jokes in the movie, but there are there. This movie is not completely devoid of good jokes. The infamous influencer Smurf from the first trailer is, surprisingly enough, nowhere to be found in the final movie. He's never seen, nor is he ever mentioned once. I'm guessing those allegations really did screw up his career. I can't believe it, guys. Influencer Smurf is officially lost to media. This is so shocking, guys. Oh my god. The last positive thing I will say about this movie is John Goodman as Papa Smurf is big brain casting right there. Like, that's just perfect casting. And he is able to sell the role perfectly. The other characters, not so much. Rihanna is Smurfette. He said it! He said it! And I gotta be honest, this voice does not fit this character. It just doesn't sound fitting for Smurfette. I don't know what it is. And the main character of this movie, despite all of the marketing making a big deal about Rihanna being Smurfette, she is the second main character in this movie. The main character of this movie is this generic no-name Smurf who is voiced by James Cordon. You know, I gotta be honest with y'all about something. I'm sure we all know the memes that like, oh, Chris Pratt is in every single movie now, Awkwafina is in every single movie now, The Rock is in every single movie now. It seems that Pedro Pascal has joined this club very recently. Bro starred in 3 completely different movies in the span of like a month. With all of this discourse going around of actors that are seemingly in every movie nowadays, I'm surprised we've completely forgotten about James Cordon. Bro was inescapable in the late 2010s to early 2020s. Oh god, it feels weird saying early 2020s. And then just as society collectively forgets about his existence, boom, he's in the Smurfs movie. Just like that. We managed to get a small break from him for a period of time. Not having him be in every single movie that comes out. His talk show ended like in 2023, I think. I don't know. And it was like, oh my god, finally a break from James Cordon. And nope, that break is over now. It was fun while it lasted, boys. It was fun while it lasted. What an insane filmography for someone to have. The Emoji Movie, Cats, and now Smurfs. Jesus Christ, man. I'm honestly quite surprised James Cordon has yet to be in an Illumination movie. Believe it or not, that hasn't happened yet. That feels like a Mandela effect thing right there. James Corden has never been in an Illumination movie. He's never been in like the Minions or anything like that. I feel like James Corden and the Minions are a match made in heaven, so I'm really surprised that hasn't happened yet. But it will happen inevitably, I just know it. There's a non-zero chance that James Corden will voice a character in Mario Movie 2, and I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't know. It will happen inevitably. James Corden will be in an Illumination movie. Yeah, right, I think I've delayed the inevitable long enough. Let's talk about this damn thing.